So last week we had the physical list built out. I don't actually have the ones that Jacob put because Jacob has it on his computer, but I can just, so we had a Z stack. We also had a V stack, right? And then inside, let's say we have the text physicals and we have dot navigation bar title for the physical symptoms. Then we didn't actually get to this part. We didn't have the background color put in. And the reason why we actually have a Z stack here is because we have a list. We built in a list, but the list row background color doesn't actually match with the background color that we give to the rest of the body. Right? So we would put in something called an initializer. So we have an initializer, and this actually comes out of the body. What this does is actually give the list row cells, the cells in the list, a background color that matches what the background color of the whole thing is. So we would do UI table view dot appearance and then give it a background color. And we can say color dot light gray just for now. And well, actually I'll just give it gray because it's actually part of the Swift. Okay. I'll leave that there for now, and I'm going to teach you guys a trick for the colors. And then we'll have UI table view cell for the cells in the list, and then give it the same background color. And then we'll also have a UI table view dot appearance for the table footer this time. Okay. And you'll notice here that, okay, this doesn't work the usual way that we have the colors that don't actually work out that way, but I don't have the syntax correct for this. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you go to the top, the toolbar at the very top of your screen, not on Xcode, but at the very top, go to it was, I believe it's, I forget where it is. It was editor. And then wait, is it editor? Sorry, 1 second. Oh, sorry. Go to edit, then go to down to format, and then you'll see show colors. And when you press show colors, you'll find that there's this thing that pops up. I don't know if you guys can see it right now.
No, we can't see it.
You guys can't see it right now, right? Yeah. So it'll just be on your end. But basically what happens with that is the colors, you can drag in the color box. Maybe I should just show it to you guys with that. Let me see if I can show it. No, I can't actually show that thing. Okay. 1 sec. What I will do is share my desktop instead. Okay, I'm going to stop my share and then share the desktop. And this is actually something that you guys can see. Where is that? Again, right here. Right, so right here, you can see that you can test around with the different colors. And instead of having to code the color and write that down, color parentheses, color dot something, you can actually just drag this in. You can drag that color in and then it works. And so that's actually called a color literal. This is something just really cool about it. And so you can set those colors. Oops. Yeah, I missed a space there. And Jacob's here. All right, let me show this one again. And okay, so that's the colors. And if I have, I have a few errors right here. But UI view, I spelled that wrong. And yes, I don't have a space. Okay, so that's how the init works. And this thing will give us the background color that Jacob can show right after this for the list cells.
A square dot fill, we have, and then we have the foreground color, because right now, currently we have the color as black. So can't really see the check mark, but if we change the foreground color, and within that we have the color, and then have the color literal, and then we'll have the RGB values, which you can change to whatever you want. So we'll have red, let's say we could have it like 0.9. I know Ellie dragged in values, but I'm just going to go ahead and type like some decimals just for now, just so that we can have a color for now. But of course, you could always enter in your own values. So for blue, I could have 0.9, just to make it a little bit even. Oops, sorry, for green, I meant to put 0.9 as well. Okay, so let's see. And we're getting an error actually here. Unable to infer complex closure return type, add explicit to disambiguate. Okay, so I'm guessing it's giving me an error. Oh, maybe I'm missing a parameter. So let's see if this works. Use of unresolved.
I think there's a lot of syntax errors that we could make. I do that all the time too. I think right now you can just leave it as like color.blue.
Oh, color.blue. Okay. Color.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead
easier.
and do that. So color.blue. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That did resolve it. And so let's, so the canvas actually stopped. So let's resume it again. Okay, build succeeded. And then let's see. So we're going to press the play button so that we can actually interact, and you see that the foreground color is blue. Now the matter of clicking it is a little bit complicated still, as you can see.
It's still loading right now, your preview. So if you guys remember what we talked
Yeah.
about in the very beginning, we have the live preview on the side, which is what Jacob just pressed. And sometimes Canvas works really slowly, so the preview keeps loading and it actually won't finish compiling truly compiling until the load symbol stops. So.
Oh, that's very true. I thought it was something wrong with my code, but then I realized the preview button, or the preview, it was still loading. Okay, so it said failed to launch.
Yes, you guys also might get that failed to launch symbol or error, and I got that often. So what I would suggest is just to build your code instead of working on through the canvas for that. Because the canvas, it still doesn't work sometimes, and it's not actually your code that's wrong, it's just a canvas itself. So
Right.
And sometimes it could help to clean your build. So what's the command for that? I think Command K or something.
yeah, you can do Command K to clean your build folder because you actually have the history of all the builds that you make. So if you clean it, it might just reset it and help it.
Okay. Yeah, it's not working for some reason. For some reason, it's the static version is working. So, but I can't interact with it. I don't know if it's just.
Yeah. So you guys would probably be able to see it on your end. It's not going to load for Jacob right now, unfortunately. But if you guys just like build it yourself, if Canvas doesn't work for you, you can just build it, and then you'll see that the checkmark function interaction works.
Right. But for now, if we're going to try and move on, maybe we can get it fixed later, but let's try and move on and kind of, so if we were to add more things to the list, right, we'd want it to kind of cover the whole thing. And if we have the physical symptoms, we also want to probably have, so physical symptoms is going to come as kind of, it's going to come up as a sheet view, right? So when it comes up as a sheet view, you also want dismiss button. So to do that, we're going to have this presented as a sheet, right? So, okay. Or actually, let's do this first. So if we have a new symptom first, right? If we're going to add on a new symptom, so in the VStack, at like the end of the VStack, we're probably want to have a new symptom button, right? So let me see. So at the end of this list right here, because this is where we're putting all of the symptoms, right? So after this symptom list, and we listed all the symptoms, we got all the check mark boxes right there. We're going to put text new symptom, right? So text new symptom.
So if you guys look at the reminder apps that you have like on the iPhone or your laptop, you'll notice that down at the very bottom, there's the new symptom button. And there's actually two ways to add a reminder to your app. And we'll like test the different ways out. Yeah.
And we can actually put this in HStack if we're going to make this a button. So a button, really the format for a button is it's going to have a certain action, right? So if we put this in an HStack, because we might want to add something next to new symptom, right? It won't just say new symptom, maybe I'll have it like a plus sign next to it, just so that the seniors won't get confused and they'll be like, oh, it has a plus sign. I'm adding a new symptom on. Right? We're going to have the HStack, and then we'll have the alignment. Of course, you could have the like on the left for some reason if you really wanted that, but for like common sense purposes, we're just going to have the alignment in the center. Sorry, my HStack didn't have the text in there. And so we have this HStack, right? And so have you guys gone over how to create buttons yet? Or
Oh, we did that in the other like meetings, but we'll just do it for this one as well.
oh, sorry. So you guys already created the new symptoms button?
Oh no, not yet, not yet. We haven't.
Okay, so we'll go over it again. It's a good reinforcement, I think, just to kind of, you know, because we'll probably be using it a lot, and so so we'll have the action. We'll have the action of the button within these parentheses, and then the action that we want to set is if we have a variable up here, right? So we're going to have at state var new symptom equals false, right? So we're going to have this equal to false originally because we don't have the new symptom is not true yet. We haven't clicked the button that tells us to make a new symptom, right? So in this action, we're going to do self.new symptom equals true. And then we're going to have in the parentheses, sorry, this, okay. And then we're going to have another brackets, and just to kind of make it easier for you guys, I'm going to indent this. And then we're going to have this, sorry, it's giving another syntax error.
Yeah, also Jacob, you have a semicolon when you made the line 17.
Line. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
there's no
sorry.
semicolons
Okay, got it. Can convert value of type. Oops, sorry. Type
I think it should
void.
probably go away soon. It's just like if you build more in your button.
Oh, got it, got it. Okay.
Like, yeah, afterwards, yeah.
Okay, so within the H stack, as I said, we probably want to add something else. Yeah. Oh yeah, at the.
Sorry, 1 second. So actually,
think-
instead of the action, it should be a closure.
Yeah.
So it's a bracket instead of
Mhm.
a parentheses. That's actually what's causing the syntax error.
Yeah. Like right
Oh,
after the
sorry,
action
sorry. Sorry. Yeah, you guys are right. Okay, so this should be bracket. Okay, got it. Okay, and then within the H stack, we can also bring like a certain image from SF symbol, right? We kind of discussed SF symbols in the last class, so we can bring in an image, and then system name, and then we bring in the name of the image. In this case, we probably want the plus sign, right? So I know in SF symbols, there's you just call the name of the image. So in this case, we just call the plus, and then after we have all of this, right? We have the button sort of completed. So after all of that, we probably want the sheet of the new symptom to be pulled up, right? You want the sheet to pop up and kind of show you what you can type in for the new symptom. So so for this, we would do dot sheet, and then within dot sheet, do is presented. And for this, actually, if we were to create a new, if we were to have the sheet presenting, right, we would need to create a new Swift file. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So let me create a new Swift file. Okay. So new file. Okay, and then I'm going to do Swift UI view. And then since we are adding a new symptom, we can name this this new file new symptom.swift. We're going to go ahead and create that. Okay. And so within this new file, we can kind of, oops, sorry, the meeting will end in 10 minutes. So within this new file, we can create like the new symptoms and what we're going to type in. But I just created that new file right there just as sort of a placeholder. So is presented self dot new symptom. And then within the sheet, we're going to pull up the new symptom file. Okay. So within that sheet, we're going to pull up the new symptom file. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right now your
Why?
Swift UI view, it's probably because your computer didn't register that you typed in the name. So you can just use that name for now. Just
Oh, interesting. Okay. So I guess I'll use Swift UI view instead of new symptom. But
yeah, you guys should change it to new symptoms on your end. Jacob's just doing it to show you guys how it works.
right. So we're actually not calling the file specifically, but you can see that like within the Swift UI view file, we have like the function Swift UI view that's going to pull up like the actual user interface. So we will have Swift UI view, but of course you guys will have new symptom instead of Swift UI view. And so
Don't you also need the Swift UI view after self dot?
oh yes, yeah, you're right. Because it would not be new symptom anymore. Because since okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that. Okay. Perfect. Use of unresolved identifier Swift UI view. Okay. Anyways.
Jacob, yeah, well, it's actually supposed to be new symptom because you're calling the variable that you created at the very top the
Oh,
state variable. You're
okay.
not actually calling the file. You're just toggling the @state variable.
Sorry. Okay, so new symptom. Okay, and then we'll have Swift UI view here. So that's the view that it's going to pull up. And I know that it's not working right now. So I guess we could try again. But I don't know if it'll work for sure. It might work on your guys' end. But yeah, so, but that's basically it for the physical symptoms. Oh, we actually need to add the dismiss button. Is that right? Like when we enter the physical
Yes.
symptom.
So there's also the thing, if you have a sheet pop up and you want to be able to dismiss it, then that would be the navigation bar items. So you can show them that as well. So you would have the cancel button. And what you guys were saying last week is instead of having cancel, you would say home because you return to the home page. So that's like what you guys were talking about last time, and we thought it was a really good idea. So all we have to do is just change the name of that, the text.
Okay, so I'll show you guys that really quick. So after this button, we could have, so it's dot navigation bar item, oops, sorry. Dot navigation bar items. And then we would have trailing, or not trailing, we would have
It would be leading.
leading,
So we
sorry.
can have both.
So leading,
For now.
because we're going to have a submit button as well. So we'll probably have this one leading, because since it'll be on the left, and then we'll have it saying, so this will be another button, right? So we're going to have another button. Oops, sorry, I'm going to make that mistake again. Oh, no. So button, it's going to say dismiss, right? And then we're going to have, oh, we also need to create a variable, right? So @state for dismiss button equals false. And so
in this case, we actually need an environment variable. So we need an environment because that's what the app is currently in, like the state it's currently in right now. So we would just have the @environment / .managed object context one.
Got it. @environments managed object context. Okay, so we have an environment variable, and then it's going to have.
I think it's the dot manage object context is in a parentheses with a backslash.
Slightly different, yeah.
Yeah, instead of a forward slash with a backslash.
Oops, sorry. So dot,
Yeah, so I
okay,
just put into the chat the exact like line of code that you guys should have. It just basically shows that when you manage the app, right, you can dismiss the mode with that. So you would have to have that one, and you would also need one for presentation mode. And presentation mode is actually the one we would be using right now because the mode that we are presenting would be dismissed. So this is basically the same thing, just you change the name for that. Yeah, and that's the one that we would use to dismiss the modal sheet view.
oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry guys, okay. So we're going to have this dismiss button, and then we're going to,
You
so
don't need
with,
the equals false after the at environment.
okay,
Yeah, and you guys can also name it different things. You don't have to call it managed object context. It just might be a little easier just because like you can keep track of it. But for now, we can just leave it as dismiss button. Yeah.
okay. Okay, and then within the parentheses, we're going to do dismiss button. Is that right?
Yeah, we actually have, it would be self.presentation mode. With the self, you're calling it inside this struct, and then you would say self.presentation mode dot wrapped value dot dismiss. And so that's actually the full line of code to be able to dismiss the mode.
Got it. Okay. All right. I think we only have 2 minutes left, so.
Yeah, I actually just went to less than a minute because that's the thing with Zoom these days. But yeah, I also put another line of code in the chat. And so that's actually the line of code that you would use to dismiss the view. And right now we have the button for that called dismiss. And last week we discussed we can call it home for that because it would be easier for our elders to figure out where to press to get back to the same place. Yeah. So this is pretty much done. We would be doing more. This actually requires more work to actually get this fully working because this would require like data part of things. But next week we'll continue with developing.